So it's like, what do you enjoy most in life? I really, being able to work with a super talented group of people and to create great products and manufacture those products and deliver them to people and make people happy from those products, that's one of the best things in life. Anyway, thanks to the hard work of the Tesla team, we've already been able to achieve a 1.5 million unit annualized run rate. And depending on how the rest of this year goes, we'll be exiting the year at a 2 million unit run rate. Actually, this is one of the cleanest exponentials I've, that's the amazing part. And cumulative profitability since inception. I'm just very proud of the fact that we've actually been able to produce more cash than we have spent. And have positive retained earnings and be worth our salt, essentially. And that's a really big deal. It's very hard. So, I mean, this is a big deal, and I think it's going to go up from here. But since then, our free cash flow generation has been very good and trending upwards. And this is really before autonomy really kicks in. We have autonomy to some degree. But solving autonomy will really be an amplification of free cash flow to a degree that is, you run the numbers and it's like, wow, can it really be that crazy? But it could be that crazy. Yeah, we're going to solve Chuck's turn. Yes, 100%. We have a lot of respect for valid criticism. I think we're at roughly 90% success rate with your turn. So, yeah, we're almost at 100. It's really interesting because we're effectively solving an important aspect of artificial intelligence, real-world AI for self-driving, which, when you think about it, kind of is what's needed to solve self-driving. Because how is the road system designed? It's designed for a biological neural net and eyes. And so naturally, the thing that would therefore work, the silicon analog, is cameras and silicon neural nets. And so sort of by accident, we're actually solving an important, I think, very useful element of artificial intelligence. And I definitely want people out there, talented people who are working on AI to consider working at Tesla, because I think we're solving just a very important part of AI and one that can ultimately save millions of lives and prevent tens of millions of serious injuries by driving just an order of magnitude safer than people. And there used to be a time back in the day where we'd have, this is super important. When we started out, it was dumb to start a car company and then dumb squared to do an electric car company. And we were told, you're never going to make money, et cetera. And we didn't for a while. But now we have the highest operating margin in the whole industry. So Tesla is not just a car company. Tesla is many companies in one. And we're as much a software company as we are a hardware company. And that's really going to be obviously essential for the future. And software both in the car and obviously with neural net training, but also software in the factory as well. So you can think of the factory as a giant cybernetic collective. And the better the software is, the better that cybernetic collective works. I don't think other OEMs think like that. But that's what it is. So, there's a lot of talk of competition among electric vehicles, but really, the EVs electric vehicles are taking market share from gasoline cars. So, I believe almost every major car company in the world has embraced electrification and agrees that it is the right path. And this is really what we set out to do with Tesla. It was not to get maximum market share or anything. It was really try to show the auto industry that it was possible to go electric, and that if you made compelling electric cars, people would buy them. And that's what's happened, and I think that's really profound. So when our competitors advertise for electric vehicles, every time they do that, our sales go up. So it's pretty funny. But we do, we have open sourced all our patents so they can use our patents for free, and so we're helping out, and I think it's sort of a mutual prosperity thing, and it's good. So I think we're tracking to have Model Y be the highest selling vehicle by revenue this year, and the highest by unit volume next year. So we might be able to announce another factory location later this year. Well, I think ultimately we'll end up building, I don't know, probably at least 10 or 12 gigafactories, and there will be really gigafactories like output, aiming for average output of like 1.5 to 2 million units. The mission of Tesla is to accelerate sustainability, and I think this is really amazing. More energy produced than was used in making the car and charging them over billions of miles. So, and we're going to keep obviously increasing our solar activity and vehicles, and because the three elements of a sustainable energy future are sustainable energy production, primarily with solar and wind, and then a stationary battery pack to store the sustainable energy that's wind and solar are intermittent, and then electric transport. So Tesla battery recycling is already underway, has been underway, and is scaling up. Recycling starts off small, but then it becomes very significant long term. So Master Plan 3 is going to be fundamentally about scaling. Just what are all the things that need to be done in order to transition to a fully sustainable global economy. Earth can and will be saved. The thing that will be hardest to replicate is Tesla's manufacturing tech, where the smartest engineers want to work. This is wherever the smartest engineers want to work, that's going to be, technology company is going to be the one that is likely to succeed. So we put a lot of effort into ensuring that the best engineers in the world want to work at Tesla. So our cars are already the safest in the industry. So we have the lowest probability of injury of any cars ever tested by the US government, and are able to look at crashes and see how can we improve the safety and look at the crashes, improve the crash structure. Also, we improve how the seat belts tension and how the airbags deploy. So in these updates, if we figure out, there's a slightly better way to deploy the airbags to improve the safety in a crash, we'll actually do an over-the-air update to improve the way that the airbags deploy or the way that the seat belt pre-tension. And we're now starting to include our Tesla Autopilot AI to be able to see if a crash is about to occur. Then it will activate the seatbelt pretensioners and deploy the airbags, as opposed to what the vast majority of cars do is the vast majority of cars are only able to deploy airbag when the crash is happening, and so that makes the airbag deployment a lot more violent. But we're also seeing FSD beta grow very rapidly, and this is definitely going to go very exponential in miles driven. AI Day Part 2. I think people will be blown away. People, or at least like analysts out there, are not really understanding the importance of the Optimus robot. My guess is Optimus will be more valuable than the car than long term. An economy is GDP per capita. If you do not have a capita, then the economy will be arbitrarily huge. So yeah, it's sort of crazy. The vast majority of our growth, basically 90% of our growth, has been organic, which I think is actually a really good thing. What our future cash flow looks like, I think a sort of share buyback is possible. I wouldn't want to commit to that, but let's just make sure that there's not some force majeure event somewhere. I think we want to make sure we have plenty of capital, and that future cash flow is looking very solid, and the world is relatively stable, and then I think share buyback is on the table. So the inflation question is interesting, because we do get a fair bit of insight into where prices of things are going over time. The interesting thing that we're seeing now is that most of our commodities, most of the things that go into a Tesla, not all, but I don't know, more than half, the prices are trending down 6 months from now. Now this could change, obviously, but the trend is down, which suggests that we are past peak inflation. My guess is that we are past inflation, and that we will have a recession. I think it will be a relatively mild recession. Mild recession for, 18 months would be my best guess right now. I think probably Tesla will be the most valuable company. normal everyday people actually understand Tesla better than the analysts. I mean, you must see this as like people panicking. Then instead of saying, oh man, my stock's gone down, there's a buying opportunity. So, I'd like to sort of convey a message of optimism about the future. The future will be good, you know. And I think just make sure people know that. Like, and I'm not suggesting complacency at all. I'm literally saying if we work hard towards a sustainable future, we will achieve it. And the future was bright.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.